Hey, thank you for joining me on this new video for the Michael Meg uh, Gill channel. Um, so for this video, what I'm working on is, I call this the Golden Lady. And the reason I call her the Golden Lady is because her skin tone is golden. At least her arms are golden. And so you will see that I tried to sort of duplicate that in the skin tone of her face, but it didn't really come out to sort of look the same. But anyway, just a little bit of history about the Golden Lady. When I moved into my apartment, basically all I had was like an air mattress. Everybody knows when you're like starting over, it takes you a minute to sort of acquire things. And I had a friend who knew a lady who was moving out of her house, and this friend was like, hey, she's leaving a bunch of stuff, go over there, anything you want, you can take. And one of the things that I saw there when I went to look at the items was this sort of statue of this black lady, this sort of figurine. But the thing about her was she was missing a head. So the Golden Lady, as I'll keep referring to her here, she did not have a head. And me being an artist, I said, I will make this lady a head. So I took that along with some other things, and this became one of the projects that I needed to work on. So I've started this project a few times, sort of sculpting out a head for the lady. And what I'm using is this Sculpey clay that once you bake it in the oven, it becomes hard. I've had this clay for a while, and I keep buying it, so I have like a lot of this clay. What I'm doing here is starting out with the fall to sort of have something solid to sort of work, put the clay around and work with. And then when I got it to this point, I'm just trying to mold it with my fingers to get the shape, and cutting off any excess parts of the polymer clay, and still just molding it and shaping it with my hands. So there were some parts where you could see the foil sticking out, and right here I'm just covering up that part. I believe in a little bit I also didn't really like the shape of the head. I wanted her to have more of a chin. So right here I'm just sort of lining it up so you can see how it's supposed to look once everything is together. I believe at this point I'm gonna start with the ears, just taking, two pieces, rolling them in my hand and making those ears, and then going in with this little sculpting tool. I need to upgrade my sculpting tools. This is the part I was talking about where I'm just giving her a little bit more of a chin. And now I'm going in for the nose and just trying to give her the nose of an African American person. Okay, now I'm going in for lips, and you guys will have to tell me if this is at the end, if this is a fail, or if I did okay. I'm happy with it, but yeah, it could have been a little bit better. So now I'm working on the eyes, just making little balls of clay, and then doing the outline or outside of the eyes. And again, I use my hand a lot, but using those tools to sort of blend the different pieces of clay together. And shut off my phone. Now this is where I start to work on the hat, and I will mention this later in the video that this is inspired, or the ideal to make the head of this golden lady is inspired by the book Waiting to Exhale, but I'll just wait for that part to talk about that. So I really just wanted like a really big hat, like you see ladies wearing on Easter Sunday. So I'm just making the various parts of the hat right here. And now I'm going to attach the hat to the head. I also had to make sure that the head would fit the way that I wanted it to onto the figurine. And so that was the part that you just saw. And now I am about to bake the clay. I think I also gave her some hair, sort of like a line of hair, like as if her hair was sort of put up under the hat, so you don't really, you just kind of see a little bit of, just to give you the idea that she has hair. So this clay, I think it baked for like 15 minutes at like 275. So I'll put the timer on, take it out of the oven, and at this point the clay is hard. And just letting it cool off before I start applying paint. And so this is after coming out of the oven, and now she's cool, and just sort of doing a fit for the body again. And at this point it does look like it would fit, but I did have some issues with that later, mainly because I should have lined that part up and sort of maybe drilled the hole and did the fitting when the clay was still soft. Anyway, got my drill out, got some little nippers there, and I made the piece to connect both the head and body together. I had to drill a hole into the clay is now hard, so hole into the head and there's a little piece of hanger that I used, and I used super glue to make sure that it would stay. And then I drilled into the body. And again, the part that I messed up on is that the body part where the wire went in, sort of fitting the head onto the body, it didn't exactly line up the way that it would have fit without the wire. So the way that I got around that is I made her like this sort of bib around her neck, which, you know, there was a lot of space because it wasn't connecting correctly. But you'll see that a little bit later. Right now, I am painting the underside of the hat. This was another mistake. I was supposed to use gesso first. What gesso does is it, you know, sort of acts as like a primer so that the paint will go on, you know, smooth. And I forgot to use the primer or the gesso. So I did go back over that, but, you know, going over it later, not as effective as if I would have, you know, used the gesso in the first place. So this is where I'm trying to tell you, oh, hey, I am trying to do her skin tone golden. Also, ignore the upper, I guess that would be right part of the screen. Yeah, just ignore all of that. Okay, so I did try to match the paint to the golden part of the skin. But I got as close. I was happy with how close I got. So the next couple of minutes are just me painting, going and painting the skin, painting the details, lips, eyes. So at some point, you'll see when I was painting the head, I was applying too much pressure as I was holding it. And that's when I started, because that part of the hat was really thin, it broke off. And it broke 2 times. So the version of the hat that I wanted and what I ended up with was slightly different, but I just went with it because it would have meant that I would have had to start all over or just try to pull that hat off and reconnect it later. And I just decided to go with sort of more like a stylized hat where, you know, one side is the brim isn't as big or out there as the other side. And I've seen hats like that before, ladies' hats. So I thought that it worked okay. So yeah, one more piece, or I think another piece is gonna break off eventually as I was painting it. So yeah, this part I'm just kind of focusing on getting the hat done. And details I had to like wait for different parts to dry. Where I am working on that bib that I told you about. So this is as far as I've gotten with the old girl. I've had so many problems with this project. So, I just want to keep it real. I'm just going to tell you the obstacles that I have faced trying to make this. First of all, I'm not really happy with the face. I'm not happy with my clay sort of sculpting skills at this moment, at least on this project. So, I don't think it's bad, but I'm not happy with the results. Okay, that was the first thing. Second thing is she had a huge ass hat. The inspiration was, I don't know if anybody remembers Terry McMillan's Waiting to Exhale. The book cover showed, the 4 characters, and they all had on like these huge hats. So originally, and you'll see it in the video, her hat was like all the way over here, and I had it flipped up. But what happened as I was painting the face and the hat is the polymer clay, it just broke off. So now I had to improvise, and she has a shorter hat. Okay? That was the second thing. Third thing is, as I was painting her, to attach the head to the body, I had to drill into the body and up into the head and attach it that way. As I was drilling into the body, this whole arm came off. And you cannot see the line here because now I've covered it with this spackling. But you can kind of see it here. Here's the line right here, and then the arm detached here. Also, this is the second time that this lovely lady has broken apart. Her whole waist came apart, as you can see right here. I'm going to put a little paint on that. So, okay. And then the final thing, the breaking point, is I didn't line up the little wire rod that I have connecting the body. So there was a lot of space in between the head and the body. So now I had to use the vinyl spackling again, and I'm waiting on that to dry. And this is just going to be like a chunky necklace that she is wearing. I got the hat painted. I still need to touch up a couple of places. Her fan, her, I guess her blouse, and at the end of all of that, and of course when this is still wet, this white part, when that dries, I'm going to paint that. Not sure what color yet. It'll probably be like maybe just a gold. She's going to be called the Golden Lady. And after that dries and I paint that and I do any touch up, I'm just going to put a coat of clear varnish over everything that I've done at the top. I'm not going to mess with the whole body. And then I'll be finished. So at this point of the video, I'm not going to show you anything else until the finished product because I have had so many issues with this, and this is actually going to delay me getting the video out. But that's my fault. I should have prioritized a little bit better. So this is the Golden Lady, and you will see the finished product after this. So the remaining part of this video, the Golden Lady, is me working on that bib that I had to put on there to hide the fact that the head was not connecting perfectly to the body. This sort of changed the way that she was looking. Originally, I wanted her to sort of be looking like straight ahead, and the brim of the hat would have sort of hidden part of her face. But because of the way that everything worked out, now, she's sort of looking up, and I sort of look at it like she's looking up to God. She's a church lady. She's looking up to the heavens. Anyway, you see me here. I painted her midsection a sort of gold, and this is the finished product.